Okay, good morning children. We are going to continue the chapter The Enemy, right? And I think this is the third session on the chapter The Enemy. So let me just revise the chapter or give you the description in a nutshell. Dr. Sadao, he has found the prisoner. He found the prisoner at his doorsteps. He was in a dying condition, right? When he could not decide as to what to do with the man. So finally he had the courage, and we can say because of the humanity, right, presence in him, he took the man inside his house, and finally Hannah and Dr. Sadao, they both have agreed that they would operate the man, right? But the servants, they were very disappointed. They do not want any involvement in this business, so they disobeyed Dr. Sadao and Hannah, and they straightforwardly said that they would not help in this matter, right? So now Dr. Sadao's wife Hannah, she is having to wash the man because Yumi has denied. She has said she would not do it, right? So now she cleaned the man, and now the doctor is Dr. Sadao. He is prepared. He's prepared to operate upon him. He has got his surgical coat. He has also got his surgical equipment, which he placed on the floor, right? On the floor. But first he spread a disinfected towel, and then he placed all the equipment that he might need during the operation, right? So now we have to continue, and now this operation begins, right? And there is also possibility that the patient, that Tom, prisoner of war ship, he may not survive the operation, right? Because his vitals are very faint, right? So let's go through. Who is going to read? I am not going to read because I can read. I want you to read. Okay, Rahul is going to read today, right? Rahul, stand up and read.
Just read. Movement, if it mattered to him, what was the body upon which he worked so long, as it was for him, he did so excellently.
Okay, so while she was thinking these thoughts, though not really liking the man better now that he was no longer a child, she kept on washing him until his upper body was quite clean. So Hannah is cleaning the man, and when she is cleaning the man, she thinks about, when she looks at his skin, she finds that his skin is very blonde, right? And as blonde as of a child's skin, right? But this man is no longer a child; he's a grown-up. So she dislikes. She dislikes cleaning the man, but she's having to do it because Yumi has denied to clean the man. And now, when she has cleaned the front part, she is supposed to turn the man over, but she cannot do it on her own. That is why she is looking for her husband. Now, she calls for her husband, and now her anger was ebbing. Ebbing means reducing. Which anger? Which anger is ebbing or reducing? Okay, we are here, right? I think I read the wrong portion. Have I read the wrong portion? I think we are here. Okay. I read this one, right? So why did you inform me? Okay, so he placed. I kind of revised it, right? So he placed all those. He has started operating upon him, and it seems as Dr. Sadao knows what to do because he's a very qualified doctor, right? And he's he's into this whole process, and this is where he finds out that Hannah is the one who washed the man because Yumi denied, right? But he's more because he's into this whole process that he's hardly paying attention to his wife. Okay, now you will have to give the anesthetic if he needs it, he said. So now Dr. Sadao says that what Hannah needs to do is Hannah needs to give anesthetic. Anesthetic means that numbs the feeling, right? You don't feel anything. So in those days, now we have anesthetic technicians, we have in ICU, they administer, what do? They administer anesthetic. But in those times, what the doctor used to do, they use chloroform. Chloroform. They would ask, that they would administer chloroform. They would smell it and then they would feel nothing, right? They will lose their consciousness. So that's how it was done in those days. So Dr. Sadao is asking whom? He's asking his wife to administer anesthetic to the patient, right? To the eyes she repeatedly, blankly, but never have I. But Hannah, she is, you can sit down and read, right? Hannah is confused because she has never ever administered anesthetic to anybody. Understand? And she says that I don't know how to administer it. It is easy enough, he said impatiently. Dr. Sadao informed his wife that it is not a rocket science, right? It is very simple. I'll do as I say. He was taking out the packing now. Now he is taking off the bandages of the patient, right? And the very moment he takes the bandages off, the fresh blood starts to flow, right? Because his wound is out, his wound is now fresh, and it is fresh because he got injured when he was thrown on those spiky rocks by the gigantic waves, when he was washed ashore. I mean, you remember? That is why this wound is now fresh. So it is bleeding. He peered into the wound with the bright surgeon's light. Peered means to have a look, right? So he's examining the wound, and he has got his, the light on his forehead. The bullet is still there, he said with cool interest, and he mentions that the bullet is still there, right? Now I wonder how deep this rock wound is. If it is not too deep, it may be that I can get the bullet, but the bleeding is not superficial. Superficial means something which is on the surface, because he is not bleeding on the surface, he is bleeding internally, right? And now the doctor, so now he needs to find out that how much damage the rocky surface has caused to his wound before taking out the bullet, right? And he finds out that it is very deep, and that is why the bleeding is not superficial, right? Understand? The bleeding is not superficial. Understand? Okay. He has lost so much blood. Understand? At this moment, Hannah choked and looked up and saw her face the color of sulfur, right? So, because he is bleeding so much, and Hannah, she has never witnessed such amount of blood, right, in her life, or a patient such a condition, right? So she is choking. She doesn't feel, she feels nausea. She is nauseated, right? Don't faint, he said sharply. He did not put down his exploring instrument. If I stop now, the man will surely die. So Dr. Sadao, he is in a very difficult situation again, because if she faints, obviously he cannot attend to his wife. Why? Because he is performing surgery. So he cannot leave the instrument, or he cannot deviate or distract himself, right? So he's asking his wife not to faint, because he will not be able to pay attention to her, right? So she went outside in the garden, and he heard, she clapped her hands to her mouth and leaped up and ran out of the room. She covered her mouth with her hands, and she ran out, because she was she was about to puke, she was about to vomit, right? And then Dr. Sadao, he heard his wife vomiting, or retching means vomiting. Understand? Can you read, please? It will be.
Don't faint, he said sharply. He did not put down his exploring instrument. If I stop now, the man will surely die. She clapped her hands to her mouth and leaped up and ran out the room. Outside in the garden, he heard her chanting, but he went
retching, but he went on with his work. Next, it will be better for her to empty her stomach. So Dr. Sadao thinks that it will be better for his wife to empty her stomach, because once she has vomited, she will not feel nauseated, right? She will not feel nauseated. So she will, I think she will be able to help him out, right? He had forgotten that, of course, she had never seen an operation. Because she has never seen an operation, that is why she is experiencing such uncomfortness, right? But her distress and his inability to go to her at once made him impatient and irritable with this man who lay like a dead under his knife. But the situation made Dr. Sadao very impatient and irritated. He was very frustrated. Why he became so frustrated? Because he could not help his wife because of the man. Because of the man who was lying like a dead. This is simile here, like dead, right under his knife. This man, he thought there is no reason under heaven why he should live, and now he's wondering that why am I, he's wondering that why I'm even saving the man. He is my enemy, and I'm having to go through so much trouble just because of this man whom I do not know. Read.
Unconsciously, this thought made him ruthless, and he proceeded swiftly.
Right, so he became ruthless. Ruthless means he became kind of harsh, and he's very swift. He's now hasting. He's hasted the procedure, right?
In his dreams, the man moaned, but Sadao paid no heed except
To mutter at him. Mutter means to talk here. Heed means to pay attention, and moan means to cry in pain. So because now the doctor is being very hasty, and in his dream means the man is unconscious, right? But he could actually feel the pain. So he groaned, and the doctor, he did not pay any attention to him, and he talked to him although the man is unconscious, and the doctor said, read.
Groan, he muttered. Groan, if you like, I am not doing this for my own pleasure. In fact, I do not know why I am doing it. The doctor opened, and there was a Hannah again. Where is the anesthetic? She said in a clear voice.
She asked in a clear voice, right? So Dr. Sadao is performing the surgery, and now he is doing things with a little more, with a little much pace, right? So what happened? The patient could feel it, right? And that is why the patient is, although he's unconsciousness, but he could feel the pain. Understand? And the Dr. Sadao, he has a habit of talking to his patient. You will see in the other parts too, right? He has a habit of talking to his patient, and he talks to him and he says that I am not doing it for my pleasure, right? And moreover, he doesn't even know that why he's doing so. And meanwhile, who arrives at the scene? Hannah comes back, and she, now she's determined, and she asks her husband that where the anesthetic is, so that she could administer it, right? And she's asking her husband. Sadao motioned with his chin. It is as well that you come back, he said. And he did not say anything. He did not utter a single word. He just gestured that the anesthetic it was kept there, right? And then what happened? He appreciates that his wife has returned to the place where the operation is being done. Now this fellow is beginning to stir. This fellow is beginning to stir means this fellow he's getting his consciousness back, right? This is what he's trying to say. But how shall I do it? She asked, and now she wants to know that how she is going to administer the anesthetic to the patient. So simply saturate. Saturate means to wet. She is told to saturate the cotton and hold it near his nostrils. She's supposed to saturate the cotton, and what does she supposed to do? She's supposed to hold the saturated cotton near patient's nostrils, right? Understand? Okay, Sadao replied without delaying for one moment the intricate detail of his work, right? And when he said he is not losing a single second because it is very intricate. Intricate means the surgery process is very delicate. It's very delicate, right? And when he breathes badly, moves it away a little, and the very moment when the patient breathes badly, what does she need to do? She needs to move the cotton away. Understand? So understood how she is going to administer what? How she is going to administer the anesthetic. She will she will keep it close to his nostril, and the very moment he will begin to stir, begin to feel uncomfortness, she's asked to remove it, right? Can you read please?
She crouched close to sleeping
Crouched.
crouched close to the sleeping face of the young American.
It was piteously thin face. Piteously means something that caused you to feel sympathy, right? And the man's face is very thin that she became sympathetic. Understand? Read.
She thought, and the lips were twisted. The man was suffering whether he knew it or not.
Right? So she knows that although the man is unconscious, but the man can feel the pain. The man can feel the pain even in his unconsciousness, right?
Watching him, she wondered if the stories they heard sometimes of the sufferings of prisoners were true. They came like flickers and
Flickers of rumors. Flickers mean here it means which remain there for short time, right? And seeing the patient's condition, patient's miserable conditions, right? She recalls the story. And she is not sure whether they are actually the true stories or they are just Rumors means something which is not true, but it is spread by the chain of people. Understand? But there is no authentication, right? So what are the stories she is recalling? Okay, the story is told by word of mouth, always contradicted. Contradicted means just in reality, rumors are always opposite, right? Opposite means contradict. So in the newspaper, she has read reports were always that wherever the Japanese army went, the people received them gladly. So in the paper, she read that wherever the Japanese army go, they are received wholeheartedly and they are received with with honor, right? So, but sometimes with the cries of joy at their liberation because of the freedom, right? But sometimes she remembered such man as General Takima, right? So this is where we get to hear the man, the same General Takima. You remember in the beginning of the chapter, Dr. Sadao was not sent with the troop. You remember? He was not sent with the troop because there was a general who was not very well, and he was in a critical condition and he might need an operation or medical attention, right? That is why Dr. Sadao was not sent with what? With the troop. So this is the same general. Understand? So now she remembers the story of General Takima. His name is General Takima, right? General Takima is welcomed everywhere, wherever he goes, because of victory, because of the success, and because Japanese army is very victorious, right? But at home, beat his wife cruelly. But this general, what does he do? He beats his wife, his own wife. Understand? Though no one mentioned it now, but nobody mentions about it now, and that is why, because that he had fought so victorious at a battle in Manchuria. Manchuria is in, I think it is North China. The Russia is very close to that this place, right? It is in North China, right? So this is Manchuria, right? So they fought this battle in those time, and that is why they were so victorious that nobody spoke about his cruelty, that how he beats his wife. Understand? And the reason she's recalling the story is because if a man, if he can be so cruel to his own wife, then you can imagine that to which extent he can actually go to torture his patient. Understand? And who is the patient? The POW, Tom. Tom is the patient. So Tom was actually in whose captivity? Japanese army, and ultimately in General Takima's captivity, right? So she hoped anxiously that this young man had not been tortured, and she hoped that if this man had not been tortured, but at this moment she observes deep scars. Scars means it is the mark of torture, right? On his neck, and just under the ear. So when she was recalling the story, she found the man had also been tortured by General Takima, and that is evident from his scars. Got it? Those scars, she murmured, lifting her eyes to Sadao. And when she, the very moment when she notices the scar, she mentions it to her husband, his Sadao. But husband does not answer, because at this moment he felt the tip of his instrument strike against something hard. Because at this point, Dr. Sadao has found the bullet, right? His instrument now touching the bullet, dangerously near the kidney. And where is this bullet situated? It is very close to the kidney. All thought left him. He felt only the purest pleasure. Purest pleasure means he forgot about everything, that who the man was, who the enemy, what the situation, the servant and everything. He was now completely lost in the process of operating upon the patient, right? And that is why it is called the purest pleasure. Because for doctor, because now he's not thinking about any uncertainties or conclusions or output. Understand? He's only thinking about his operation. And now he's probing with his fingers. He has found the bullet. He is probing with his fingers, delicately, familiar with every atom of this human body. Because surgeon, to be a surgeon, it is not an easy job, because you need to know each and every part of human body. Then only you can perform the surgery, right? So he knows every atom of this human body, because his old American professor of anatomy means the body, the science of body, is the surgeon's cardinal sin, sirs. Cardinal sins means wrong deed, and cardinal means a very strong deed. He had thundered at his classes year after year. He would often hear his American professors saying that if a surgeon doesn't know a human body very well, right? So it will be like committing a crime. It will be like what? Committing a crime. So it is, now can you read please? It is not quite sin.
It is not quite at the beginning, my friend Sadao murmured. It was his habit to murmur to the patient when he forgot himself in an operation.
Right, so it is very fortunate that the bullet did not touch the kidney, right? So the Dr. Sadao is actually talking to the patient, because it is his habit that whenever he is indulged or absorbed in his this operational process, he talks to his patient.
He always called his patient, and so now he did.
He called his patient a friend. I think this is the first time when he referred to him as friend. He forgot about that he was his enemy.
Then he cleaned with the cleanest and the most precise of instruments.
Incision means when you make cut. When you do what? When you make cut. So now he put a cut, and the bullet was out. And when he took out the bullet, the man quivered. Quivered means the man shivered, trembled, kampna, right? But was still unconsciousness. But the man was still unconsciousness, and it is due to the effect of anesthesia. Nevertheless means, however, he muttered a few English words. The man was unconsciousness, but when the moment when the bullet was taken out, the man said something. He said something in English, and what did he mutter? What did he say? Guts. Guts means, it is a slang, American slang, which means bravery, that you use for bravery, right? Or dare. Choking, they got my guts. They got my guts means he's trying to say they try to torture me, but I am brave enough. They got my guts. This is what the man said. Sadao Hannah cried sharply, and Hannah said, Sadao, he's coming back to his senses. And Sadao made her wife hush. He asked her to keep quiet. The man sank again into silence, so profound that Sadao took up his wrist, and the man he went back to sleep. Dr. Sadao, he checked his wrist, hating to touch of it, right? And again he checked his pulse. He dislikes it, and he finds the pulse is very feeble. It's very meek. He wanted the man to live to give hope, so But certainly I do not want this man to live, he thought. Because as a doctor, he wants him to live because he has performed surgery. And at the same time, he wants him not to live because he is a citizen of Japan. So he asked his wife not to give her any more anesthetic. He turned as swiftly as though he had never paused, and from his medicine he chose a small vial. Vial is actually a small container. Have you seen the glass container where this liquid medicine is kept? The doctor break it and he filled the syringe. Understand? So from his medical, he took the vial, that glass container, bottle, and he filled his hypodermic. Hypodermic means syringe, and then he thrust the needle to man's wrist, and then he checked his pulse again. Now, now the patient's pulse, now it is getting stronger. After administering what? The medicine, right? The man will live in spite of all, he said to Hannah, and sighed. Sighed means to show discomfort. And he announced the man would live. The man has survived, and he is going to continue to live. The young man woke so weak, his blue eyes so terrified when he perceived. So this part we'll do it tomorrow. So that's all for today, children. Have a nice